There's a difference between needing help and needing support. So a lot of people, they feel like asking for support in their process is asking for help. And if I'm asking for help, that must mean I can't do it myself, which must mean I'm helpless, which then must mean I'm not worthy. And so they're actually afraid to feel helpless. So it's just a little reframe is like, you're not asking for help, you're asking for support. And I'm sure you've heard me say this time and time again, but
it's true.
But, help and support, if my 3.5-year-old daughter is looking at something on the counter and she's like, Dad, can you help me grab that? Yeah, I can. And chances are I will if I'm standing right there,
right?
Like I'll just grab it. But say I'm in the living room in the other room and she's like, Dad, can you help me? I need to get something off the counter. Help is to just do it for them. Support would be, hey, why don't you grab that chair, utilize this tool, you can do that, take this tool, drag it over there, climb up on the chair, reach up on the counter, and now you've become self-sufficient. Yeah. So support is something that's
a great
given.
Distinction.
It's something that's given so you can learn how to support yourself. Help, there are times for help, but a lot of people will avoid asking for support under this feeling that they're probably not even aware of, that they feel helpless, and that might be poking at this wound of I don't feel worthy, and now by asking for help, it's actually inflaming this wound of unworthiness.
Which is definitely something that I also struggled with during ceremony of asking for help or support and going through that battle.
Yeah.
And then, do I want support? I can do it myself, but then I need it, but then I don't want to ask for it. Yeah. back, forth.
Yeah. It's a common one. Yeah, I can speak as a man that a lot of men, not just myself included, but a lot of men that I've worked with over the years have struggled with that.
Yeah.
They don't want to feel they need help.
Yeah.
So just a little reframe of, but I can ask for support. I don't need help, but I can ask for support. And now it becomes empowering rather than this feeling of belittling.
Yeah.
Because underneath, for a lot of men that I've worked with, is this feeling of unworthiness. Right. Like, I'm going out into the world to prove my worth, whether it be through business, real estate, women, like whatever it is, they're trying to prove worth. And so it's actually coming from the wounded place of unworthiness. And so then to ask for help, it's just like grinds in that same wound.
Yep.
So with that being said, is unworthiness something that you've worked on?
Yes,
or worked
definitely.
through?
I'm still working through. Definitely been a big part of what I work through and working on, and understanding, it was really being there for myself, my inner child. That was how I worked through it during ceremonies. And pretty much understanding that I am me and I'm worthy just because I am me.
And how does that feel? When you can feel that sense of worthiness, not trying to trick yourself into feeling, but actually feeling it deep in your body. What does it feel like?
It feels like things don't matter. Like, I'm just me. Like, I'm not trying to go and prove myself. So it's definitely one of the harder things that I've been working through the past year. Definitely felt like I have been put in a box and I wasn't able to be me. So just being able to be me is part of loving myself and understanding that I'm worthy just because I'm me. And I don't need to have anything else to prove that I'm worthy. I don't need to prove it to anybody. As long as I know that, then I feel good about myself. Definitely something that I work through and working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's is the work ever finished? A lot of people, is healing something you've done, or is it something you do? All these questions that come up. But the transition from, in your subconscious mind, in your beliefs about yourself, without even realizing you have the belief about yourself, like with this unworthiness, we go out into the world to try to prove. But once we realize there's nothing to try to prove, it removes the I need to go do this to I get to. And that's the transition from lack. Like, I need something outside of myself to prove myself. When we don't need to prove ourselves, now we get to be ourselves and operate from that place of fullness, which is abundance. So essentially, it's the shift from lack to abundance without needing anything to prove it.
It's a beautiful way to put it. I actually was just talking about the self-worth in therapy this week for probably the 10th time this year. But yes, it's definitely a big part of my journey, and talking to other people, it seems like it's a struggle for a lot of people, and it's hard work to really be there for yourself and understand and feel it deeply that you don't need to prove anything. But that's from going from not being me to being me. And just being me.
That's beautiful.